3 go-to questions that you can use in any circumstance. When you look at the investigative inquiry that's going to allow that individual to feel like they're being highlighted. Think back to elementary school. I always go back to that everything I need to know I learned in kindergarten. When you were in elementary school, didn't you have like me week? And you made a little poster of yourself, and you had your little pictures up, and you brought in the baby pictures, and it was all about you that day, that week. So you've got this baby poster, and you get to give your biography in front of class, and show off your pictures, and talk about your favorite color and your favorite dinner. Many of us, even as adults, still very much enjoy being the center of attention. I know, it's hard to believe. These questions will allow us to highlight that individual so that they feel like, it's me week. This is cool. I like you. I'm going to call you because you make me feel like it's me week. Question number 1 helps break the ice a little bit. Provides some common ground, allows you to introduce you. It allows you to be introduced to maybe even some new networking opportunities or venues that you hadn't been introduced to before. So where else do you normally network? This gives them the opportunity to talk about themselves because we all like to do that. What do you like best about what you do? Okay, now be careful. Because this then leads us back to the moving along. You know what? Let me call you next week. Because when you do the what do you like best about what you do, you're going to get at the root of somebody's passion. You're going to engage them emotionally and create a memorable experience that engages emotion so that they're much more likely to remember it. When people can address things that they're passionate about, that increases their positive feelings. And if they associate those positive feelings with you, then they are going to have those positive feelings the next time they think of you. So engaging their passion is one of those go-to opportunities when you're having a 6-minute conversation with somebody instead of your 30-second intro of yourself and your organization. Question number 3 really can reveal a person's motivation. It offers insight into how they got to be where they are today. It opens up a rapport building opportunity. Often people disclose more than they originally intended when you get them started about talking about how they got to where they are. Because they can't summarize. Nobody can summarize. You ask how it is that so how did you get into this field? Okay, you get to see the whole resume in like 3 minutes because they just can't summarize. You can't cut out any one thing because we all know it's the culmination of all of our life experiences that brought us to where we are. So people disclose more, and now you have something really memorable that has provided a real connection for you to come back to that individual when you call them next week and say, hey, you know, when you were talking about how it is that you got to where you are and you shared with me X or Y, it made me think about. Which brings us to the next question. How do you know that you're creating a memorable opportunity? A really good memorable one. How do you create a memory for someone? Part of it is engaging their emotion. I'm sorry?
You could do something outrageous.
You could do something outrageous, sure.
I do.
Okay, so give us an example. What's something outrageous?
I sell custom fitted bras and I bring out a 34M, which is big as your head. They remember that.
That's outrageous.
That would be outrageous.
You can go really extreme and get some gold orthodontia like I've got, because let me tell you, this is such a highlight and a talking piece. People remember that I have gold braces. I don't know what I'm going to do to leave an impression when they're off.
Get a grill.
Get a grill.
When you think about how it is that you leave an impression, we want to make sure that we address leaving the right kind of memory. So what do you do in the moment when you're trying to do the witty comeback? Do you think in the 7 seconds that you have to collect 11 impressions that you're going to be accurately gauging someone else's sense of humor with your first impressions? Maybe not. To be polite, they'll often chuckle along with you, whether you've made them comfortable or not. But again, that may be an opportunity that you lose. Now, if humor is that go-to device for you, absolutely, you have probably become a master of using humor effectively. I work with, I'm very, very fortunate to work with a woman who has the driest wit I have ever, like I go home with my stomach hurting from laughing when I've been in a meeting with her because she's just naturally the most humorous woman. And she's good like that in a lot of venues, but there is going to be somebody that doesn't work on. 80–90% of the time it works for her. If I tried to pull off the stuff that she does, you guys, the crickets would, would come out of the back of the room because her style doesn't work for me. When we think about the witty comebacks and the challenge of gauging sense of humor, just use it cautiously. If you are very confident that you can gauge a sense of humor with those 7 seconds, then absolutely go for it. It sounds like the being memorable with the bra, that would definitely stick for me. And I don't think I would be offended by it because I'd be, seriously, have you seen an M cup? I mean, that's dinner table conversation for weeks. But it is important to ask yourself, do you know how you're memorable? What one thing will you be able to mention in your follow-up call to jog the memory of your meeting? And do you want to say it out loud? I have been called that short, feisty redhead when my hair is a little bit more red at the end of summer. You know that chick with the gold teeth? I have talked about how it is that I tried to leave my business card and it fell out of my purse. Knowing how it is that you're memorable with that individual is going to allow you to connect with them much more readily and much more effectively when you do the follow-up in the coming weeks after the expo. Almost as importantly, how will you remember them? It's going to be really valuable to make a note on the back of the business card. It's okay to defile the business card by writing on the back of it. It's okay. You don't go to business card prison for that.
Unless they're Chinese.
True that.
Then you've just tinkled on their tombstone.
Yes. In other cultures, you're absolutely right. But in most cases, it's okay to write on the back of them. When you make a note on the back of the business card, or alternatively, you can record it on a very discreet contact log that you keep in your breast pocket during the day. Get one of those little 3x4 spiral notebooks, or have some index cards available, and create a contact log that allows you to keep track of, you know, the lady with the hat that I met after the crazy guy with the weird shoes. That's what you jot down, because that's what's going to jog your memory of what you talked about with that individual. Even if you don't get their business card, note down information that you did receive, because you might have enough information that you can follow up regardless of whether or not you have their business card. Remember to record their need, because after you've done all of the hard work of being the detective of figuring out what their need is, you want to make sure that you follow up on any promises that you've made. You want to make sure that you can be a solution provider and allow them to walk away looking good because of the intervention that you've taken. All of these pieces are critical to leaving an impression, making a difference, and building your business.